All right, so this is gonna be the continuation of, you know, the video I started earlier as far as just kind of letting y'all in to my life, who I am, why I am the way that I am, influences and all of that. So I want to pick up talking about my brothers, uh, not my biological brothers. So, and the importance of those relationships and those people in my life. I mentioned Anthony. I mentioned all of them, but want to start back with Anthony. Like this dude was just like amazing to me. Great athlete. He was smart. He could draw. But he was really like a good person. So I really appreciate him looking out for me and being there for me when I needed a big brother. So again, man, I love you, and I really appreciate that. Travis, uh, man, like you showed me how much of a difference it makes when people change their opinion of each other, when people start to communicate, connect, have a bond with each other versus kind of seeing each other as adversaries or enemies. And I mean, again, super talented dude, cold with music. Uh, then it was Timmy, so that was like that's true dog. Like me and this dude was inseparable. Like when I was in middle school. So once my dad actually moved us to the projects, that's when I met Timmy. So he stayed across from me, like in the building that was like at a kind of 90-degree angle. Mine was going one way, his was going the other way. And I don't even remember where we met, how we met, whatever. It was just like, this was just my guy from day one. So like we was always hooping. He was taller than me. He is an athlete. I think I probably struggled with my weight since I don't know exactly what age I was, but my godfather took me to Texas and they was cooking all the meals and I was eating everything, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I kind of struggled since then. But, we was project kids at that point. Like my dad was doing whatever he was doing. Uh, Timmy, like his mom was a single mom. It was him and his brother, John. And we was just always outside, whether we was at the basketball court, whether we were standing around, just we used to call it staining on each other. So just, playing the dozens, cracking jokes. But then like we really bonded off of music. So I used to rap and like we used to just rap all the time. We just have rap battles and write and we really connected on the music. And still to this day, like that's my guy. We talk every once in a while, always reach out to each other. Like this dude, like 8 Ball MJG, that was his thing, like space age pimping. But yeah, like that was the first time I really like it was like Batman and Robin. Like, we was inseparable. We did everything together. We respected each other. We always had each other back. Like so that was really probably the first time I had somebody that was like we was the same age. So it wasn't like big brother, little brother thing. It was just like brothers, like straight up, you know, it's us. Whatever it is, we in it together. He know I'm gonna be there for him. I know he gonna be there for me. And like that was a big deal at that point in my life because I mean I was so conflicted from, the stuff with my dad. Like he put me and Travis in like crazy situations. Like I remember one day he took us and he went to the bar and he just left us in the car in the middle of the night. Like we was just sitting in the parking lot of the car while he was in the bar for like hours until eventually I guess somebody called the police or something, but then like the police came and, knocked on the window, Started talking to me and Travis, asking what was going on, and they had to go in the bar and get my dad. Crazy stuff like that. So, now, I can get away from that. I gotta escape, and I'm just hanging out with Timmy, and then we had a little group of friends that we always used to just walk around and just be with each other. So that was when I was in Michigan, and I was only in Jackson for a couple years, and then I moved to St. Louis with my grandparents. So when I moved to St. Louis with my grandparents, my grandma used to always go get her godson and like bring him over, so I had somebody to interact with. But we were completely different. Like he wanted to, like, I won't even say wanted to. He grew up in an area where like gangs were big, so I guess he was in a gang, and he was kind of more of a street kid, hustling and slick, type. So I really didn't like that, because I feel like my whole life I was always kind of put in a situation where I can never just be myself as an individual. It was always Clarence and somebody else. Like my mom, little brother, my uncle Trevor is like 2 weeks younger than me, so it was always Clarence and Trevor. And then when I got away from that and moved with my grandparents, it was like now she got Carl and it's Clarence and Carl, and it's like, yo, I ain't nothing like these people, but I always get associated with them. So it's like I was frustrated. But then that's where like the two most important relationships I had in high school were developed. So that's CJ and Steve. So Steve, I felt like was like kindred spirits, right? So at this time, I was like really, really angry. My mentality was really dark. Like I used to think I was gonna be dead before I was 30. I didn't even want to like get old because it just wasn't appealing to me. We both used to rap again, so bonded off the music, and that was like one of the only people that I knew that I really felt like was as good as me or potentially better than me. So he used to push me, and that kind of brought out the best in me. So again, that was a situation very similar to like with Timmy, where now I got a brother that's not an older brother, it's not a little brother, it's like a equal relationship. So we were so tight. We was together all the time, and we were like the people that were individuals. I wouldn't say outcast, but like we were around the other groups, but we weren't part of any of them. He was smart. I think I was more athletic than Steve. I don't think he was really into sports. He could draw, but really it was the music and then just the mentality. Like we both were very mature at an early age, working, just grinding. Like I don't know. I feel like we was both trying to escape our lives at the time, and that's why we connected. And then probably, well, I won't even say probably, definitely, of all the people that I consider a brother, the one who has the most impact, who I probably invested the most in a relationship and influenced who I am more than anybody else, is my little brother, CJ. So the reason I feel like that relationship is what shaped me more than the other ones as far as the people I consider my brother is I feel like that's the first time I really embraced the role of being a big brother, like feeling responsible, looking out for, trying to guide, protect, and always be there for him. Like I felt like Devin wasn't there for me. And so how we even, I guess, got connected, he was getting bullied and I stood up for him. I won't go into the details. And then he thanked me. And then like from that point on, it was just like we was inseparable. We had the same first job. We worked at Popeyes together. He got into music. I kind of exposed him to it. He started rapping. We created a record label together, Precise Entertainment. That was family business, and I really thought that was gonna be what I did, but just differences in personalities and maturity levels. We had some conflicts. I felt like at some point, well, I won't even say I felt like he expressed to me that at some point he just got tired of people viewing him as my little brother. He wanted to stand on his own too. So that created some conflict between us. Cause it didn't make sense to me because I felt like I was a great big brother, but he wanted to kind of establish his own identity, and he did some things, some questionable things. And I think we all did, from different perspectives. I'm pretty sure I did stuff that disappointed people or made people feel some kind of way about the decisions I made or things I did or didn't do. But like, these people have like made an impact on my life and who I am, because just the concept of brotherhood, that camaraderie, that connection, the pain, the joy, the sacrifice, the struggle, all of it, without those individuals, I wouldn't have been exposed to those different components, the different dynamics of those type of relationships. And I know it's benefited me in the friendships and relationships I've developed as an adult with the people I've come in contact with since, because it really had a huge influence. So that was like the part of my life that I felt like my identity was formed the most when I was dealing with those people. So that's like from middle school throughout high school, maybe a few years after high school, into music, sports. Used to box all the time, rap, and it just really, really created that competitive spirit in me, because I didn't have it when I was younger, but then I wanted to be the best at everything, and that did make me grow so much as a person, because like I couldn't let Steve be better than me at rap. I couldn't let Devin, be better than me at basketball, boxing, stuff like that. CJ, same thing. Like, I couldn't let him catch me. So that made me really like develop a certain amount of drive and focus to, if I was gonna do something, I was gonna be the best at it. And to this day, I feel like I carry that with me. Now the flip side of that coin, and I had this conversation with a few people recently. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but like anything that I've ever cared about, I've been great at. But that makes it hard to care about a lot of stuff, because like I never would really commit to something, because once it got challenging or once I lost interest, it was like I can do something else and I can be good at that. So I didn't have a thing other than music, and that was the thing I did with CJ, Steve, Timmy. So it was like that was a huge part of my life, and it was until my 30s. But once like all my music got deleted, it's like, man, forget it, because I can't get all of that back. And then the focus was just on family, but I'm not gonna get off of the childhood quite yet. So parents, aunts, uncles, siblings, like everybody had a huge impact on who I am. And I talked about the brothers. I talked about Crystal a little bit earlier. And then I was thinking throughout the day, I definitely had to at least share where I felt like was the turning point in our relationship, and even a realization I came to myself with my temper, perceived disrespect, and like refusing to allow somebody to treat me in a way that I felt like I didn't deserve. And I think that really showed up with my sister first. Because like I said, I would take care of Crystal. Like I was living in Jackson, she was living in Lansing. I was working at a little corner store for $3 an hour. So I'll work from 4 to 11. I don't even remember the manager name, but he'll just pay me cash. So, I work 7 hours a day. He'll give me $21 at night. And I just put my money up and try to save my money. I remember my dad come steal my money, stuff like that. But I would always try to keep money. So when I did go to visit my mom, I could give my sister some money, or I could buy something for my sister, take care of my sister, whatever the case is. My sister had some little situations with people in her life. And even if I was in St. Louis, I'm coming. I'm there for my sister. So with me putting that type of effort into standing up for her, protecting her, taking care of her, I remember the day that I was just like, ain't no way somebody gonna treat me like this, that I take care of like that. So I went over to my sister's house. I was probably like 17 years old, 16, 17 years old. But I was working at the time, and I never been a materialistic person. So like I made money, I'll just keep it. So I went, and she had a little get together. So I remember her boyfriend was there, his brother was there. Some people we grew up with that at the time, I would have said, we consider like god brother, god sister type thing. But some stuff happened after that. So it's been a kind of little shift in at least one of those relationships. But it was just like, kind of a little small get together. So we ordered some pizza, and Crystal wanted some breadsticks. So, I was paying for everything for everybody. And I probably ordered like 10 pizzas, so it was more than enough. Breadsticks, all that. But I made sure that I ordered Crystal her own like order of breadsticks. Like everybody else had to share, like it was like food for everybody. And then it's like, but that's Crystal breadsticks, because she asked me for some breadsticks, to get her some breadsticks. And I remember, and it's like, I brought it up to her one time. She said she didn't remember it, but I'll never forget, because I think it's the first time I just kind of, I won't even say blacked out, because I like, but just reacted like in so much anger, where I did something like, man, like that's crazy. So at the time, I didn't eat pork. Okay. So I'm supplying this, food for everybody. And, it's pepperoni, pizza, sausage, pizza, all this stuff for everybody else. In the same way I got Crystal her breadsticks, right? I got a cheese pizza. So everybody else got all these pizzas. And I don't know what led to it, but it's like Crystal got the cheese pizza, like the whole cheese pizza, the whole box. Like nobody touched it. It's not a slice gone, just the whole box. And I was like, yo, like let me get some of that pizza, like, because that's the pizza I got for me. It's all these other pizzas. So like, get one of those. And I don't know what led to it, but it's like she didn't want to let me get none of the cheese pizza. So she got the box in her hand. It's open. And like she wouldn't let me get a slice of pizza. So I just took the whole box of pizza and just like mashed the cheese pizza in my sister's face, because it's like, yo, you're gonna be selfish when I did all of this, and I got you your own stuff. And then like the thing that's for me, like I literally cannot eat none of this other pizza, and then you're gonna take the one that I could eat even though I provided all of this for everybody and got you your own thing. So like, man, I'm thinking back about this stuff, like, again, connecting dots backwards. I think that's the first time where like I realized that I had a little anger issue to respond like that, because I felt so disrespect. I felt betrayed. Cause like, man, I've been taking care of you your whole life. And like, you my big sister, I'm your little brother. I've been taking care of you your whole life. And I'm still looking out for you. And you don't even care about me, for me to be able to get the cheese pizza that I bought, paid for, and got for me, even though I provided stuff for everybody and made sure you had your own. So, yeah, like, it's a lot of little different things. And again, these videos can only be so long and only gonna keep y'all attention for so long. But I'm just laying out some stuff that happened. So that's the next part, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna talk about next time. Cause at this point, I'm like 16, 17. So this high school, I'm living in St. Louis with my grandparents. I definitely got to get into, my grandfather. Me and my grandma, when I was in high school, it really was like, we didn't talk that much. We had a much better relationship after I was an adult, moved out. But when I was in high school, it was pretty much my grandfather was the primary influence. So I'll get into that. But I'm gonna put a plug in it right here, or a pin in it, as they say. So this is high school, about 16, 17. I've established all the relationships with my brothers. I've got to the point where my relationship with my sister, like, this is where it shifts, because after that, that's where we actually started to become close and develop like a real personal relationship beyond me feeling like the responsibility to take care of her and protect her. So I'll talk about that stuff next time. So peace.